Day before the big one, Hollywoodbets Kenilworth and Turfentine, 16 races on the go around the South African calendar on the Saturday. Trust we found you well for this little preview that we're going to do for the 8-race card as we wind the season down, but we look to wind it down with a bang. Wherever you might be playing, wherever you might focus your eyes on, whether it's both venues, whether it's all three coming up this weekend or whether it's into next week, some Equus awards still to be decided. I think as far as the personal awards are concerned, I think we're pretty much done and dusted. I think that all those tussles are pretty much at an end, but we're still going to look to finish very strongly indeed. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our social media pages, all of our channels, whether it be YouTube, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on X, whatever the case may be. Plenty of content for you this weekend and going forward with all sorts of collaborations with KZN. And also the nice part is that when the season ends on the South African front, yes, it's going to likely be grim in August here in the Western Cape. We go to the country course, Hollywoodbets Durbanville, and we turn the key in what is normally a pretty slow start to the season for the first 2 months. August and September can be just time to put your feet up, but not in racing. Maybe for the quality horses it is. Right, let's go straight into the card. Got some betting available for as Hollywoodbets are concerned. Race number 1 gets underway at 12:50. It'll be the start of the buy pot. Number 11, Magical Place, is a 5-2 favourite. Number 5, Sardinia Bay, 33-10. 10 Caesar's Ransom, 5-1. Same price, number 1, Astronomical Boy. And number 8, World Champion, is a 6-1 shot at the time of recording. We were lucky on Perfectly Placed to be able to chat to Eric Sands, Greg Enion, Pete Steyn, and also Roderick Fredericks, who works for Michelle Ricks, Harold Crawford. They've got some interesting runners as well. But regarding this race, we've got a little bit of information about these youngsters that go round. I want to talk about number 11, Magical Place. I think that's a good place to start. Eric Sands trains, Richard Ferrari takes a ride. Lovely debut behind October Storm, where he stayed on very nicely. The word is that he's taken a good step forward back at home, and Eric's expecting a nice run and hopefully get him into the number 1 box, the son of What a Win. So it looks like that type of horse that's going to be very effective down the straight and in the sprints. We know that Eric gets horses to come on with the runs under the belt, with a horse obviously of Wilkebor's Drift just a couple of weeks ago being a case in point, and I'd expect Magical Place to continue on that trend. I reckon this might be a hot maiden because there's some very nicely bred youngsters that go around as well, and then there's obviously form from number 5, Sardinia Bay. Corne Offer takes a ride for Greg Enion. Thought that he'd win last time, outrun by in a timely manner. The debut behind Churchillian obviously stands him in good stead. First run is a gelding, and Greg's confident of a big run from number 5, Sardinia Bay. And then number 10, Caesar's Ransom, the half-brother to Captain's Ransom, son of Vercingetorix. There's not a trainer who wouldn't want this horse in their yard. Aldo de Meyer takes a ride for Pete Steyn. Sounds like that they're expecting him to be green, but run a very nice race first up. Number 10, Caesar's Ransom. So those are all highly thought of horses. I've seen Astronomical Boy gallop as well. Lovely son of Gimme the Green Light, well related as well. That's all the Cosmic Speed, Cosmic Queen, and well-performed family that are very prolific in the sprints and up to a mile as well. And number 3, Green Trace, 2, Delta Pride, all horses that do make some sort of recommendation on breeding. And OJ Dar, number 7, could also be a horse to watch as time goes on. But the first race, very interesting, probably the most interesting race on the day. I'm going to recommend Box Swingers 5 and 11 to kick off the afternoon. Race number 2, first leg of the Place Accumulator, 1. Race Coast Maiden Juvenile Plate for fillies over 1,200 metres. This is how the market looks. Number 3, Nebulous, 2-1. Aldo de Meyer and Candice Bass Robinson team up. Number 2, Megan's Diamond, 7-2. Same price. Number 9, Wonder Dune. Number 6, Hazel Green, 4-1. Number 7, Wait For Me at 7-1, and double figures about the others. Right, what are we going to do in race number 2? Let's talk about Nebulous, the daughter of the United States. Ran third behind Between the Lines last time out. Between the Lines runs later on in the card, like the improvement from run 1 to run 2. I reckon the extra 200 metres is not going to stop her from progressing. She just looks like she's going along the right way. There has already been a winner from that form line behind Between the Lines last time out, and I think that if she just continues on the right track, if she doesn't win, she'll go very, very close. Place Accumulator being my suggested bet. I backed her up with number 2, Megan's Diamond. You can make exactly the same argument for this daughter of Rafi. From run 1 to run 2, good improvement, beaten 6 lengths first up by Inside Voice, beaten less than 3 second up behind De Moria, who would be an interesting runner next week. Louis Otwa takes a ride for James Crawford. I think number 2, Megan's Diamond, also bears watching. And also good improvement from number 6, Hazel Green, wasn't too far behind number 3, Nebulous, but I see no reason for that form to turn around. So very interesting interesting race. Just keep an eye on number 9, Wonder Dune, the daughter of Zoostar. Corne Alpha takes her out for Andre. Now, we know Andre doesn't really turn the screw when it comes to his youngsters, but they are turning 3 in just a week from now. Could be something to come from number 9, Wonder Dune. That's very, very quick, speedy pedigree, and it wouldn't take too much for her to feature on debut, so watch the market about that one. But the place accumulators, my suggested exotic on the day. This is how I play it: 2 and 3, by 7, 8 and 9, by banker 2, by 5, 6 and 9, by 1, 5 and 7, by 9 and 11, and a non-Alistair Cohen thing to do, banker in the last leg, number 8. Let's now move on to race number 3, first leg of the pick 6, 2 o'clock, celebrating Centurion member John Costa's birthday, maiden juvenile plate for fillies. If you're not a friend of John Costa, then you are not in racing. And we wish John very, very well on his birthday. One of the true blue great guys of racing, that entire family is. Let's go through the market. Number 7, Beach Verse, 22 to 10 favourite. Peter Rack, number 1 on the card, is at 5 to 2. 8 Chickasaw at 4 to 1. 4 Splash of Colour and 5 Up in Flames, both 8 to 1. And double figures on the others for the first leg of the pick 6. I think this is a maiden that seems a little bit more shallow than the first 2 races. When looking at this race, I initially thought Chickasaw would be the most interesting runner, but number 7, Beach Verse, on the evidence of what happened on debut behind Inside Voice, and I'm having a tough time making up my mind which version of Beach Verse and which version of Chickasaw we can take here, because Beach Verse finished in front of Chickasaw in the run to Inside Voice, and they both showed huge improvement in their second starts. Beach Verse being by Verse and Getrix out of the Great Beach Beauty. I mean, you want that blood, don't you? Of course, Drakenstein retained Beach Beauty, and Candice Bass-Robinson trains, and Elder DeMea takes the ride. Having finished 3 lengths in front of Chickasaw first time out, Chickasaw's a tiny little girl, this daughter of Give Me the Green Light, and for her to run the way that she did in the heavy bottomless going last time out is a massive signal of intent in my book. I don't expect it's going to be as heavy this time around. It's been a good clear week in Cape Town leading up to this race meeting, although there has been the odd drizzle here and there. But I think number 7, Beach Verse, just with that run under the belt from debut and finishing in front of Chickasaw, that she'll probably just stay ahead. With that said, though, I think there's a long list of chances. As you would have seen in my place accumulator, 7, 8 and 9 all go in. Chickasaw a big chance. Eric Sands, talking about number 9, Island Jewel, sounded like a filly that's going to come on with a run under the belt, but I like how she's bred. I'm a sucker for the Master of My Fates, and Craig Zaki's engagement is not going to do any harm either. 5 Up in Flames, also a lot of scope to improve, wasn't far behind Beach Verse last time, should be in and around the action. And number 3, Splash of Colour, although disappointing last time. I'd still like to see the Marshall Yard be consistent in turning the corner, so that might be one thing that just puts one off, but we know from a top yard as the caliber of Vaughan that it's a matter of time before they all come bouncing back and they start to arrive left, right and centre. Suggested bet on race number 3, Box Swingers, numbers 7 and 8. Race number 4 starts Jackpot 1 Interbet Middle Stakes for fillies and mares over 1,400 metres. This is the division that needs a lot of thinking because it's a wide open event. Number 6, Shuan Tech on the back of winning Wimbledon, 28 to 10. Number 4, Miraculous 3 to 1. Number 2, Fun Zone 7 to 2. Kamchatka number 1, 4 to 1. 7, Goodness Gracious Me, and 8, La Divina are both at 11 to 2. And number 5, Glee Club at the bottom of the boards. Of course, scratchy as Ricky Tiki Tava. Number 3 will not be going round. We read anything into the fact that Platinum had 3 runners, now 2, and stable jockey Corne Alpha takes a ride on number 1, Kamchatka? Well, no, because he wouldn't be able to do the ride on number 8, La Divina. Keenan Stain has that run. I think that just adds to the spice of this race. I think the key horses, Fun Zone, Elder DeMea on board for Candice Bass-Robinson, going back down the CBR road. She's just consistent. She punches above her weight. She runs in races that are probably a little bit too strong for her, but again, she fails to run a bad race. She doesn't let the team down. I thought last time at Fairview in the listed feature, the East Cape Paddock Stakes, when being beaten by Gimme That Pearl, she left nothing out there. No disgrace in being beaten by Gimme That Pearl. She ran the same type of races she did towards the end of last year on the 5th of November as well. And even her penultimate start in the Stormsflay Mile, in Stormsflay Stakes rather, when she ran 3rd behind Beware the Bomb with a whole lot of good, well-performed horses in and around her. I mean, she's been a fun zone. She's been a fun filly and mare to be involved with in the Centenary Syndicate. So she's the horse that I'm going to lean towards in a wide open race. But if you ask me, who can you leave out? The answer would be no one. I even think Glee Club at the bottom of the boards is worth chucking into trifectas and quartets. One horse that I do want to keep an eye on, and I was a little bit underwhelmed by Honour of Kings during the week, so I think we need to watch all the Cape horses that come back from KZN. But number 7, Goodness Gracious Me, 1400 meters might be a little bit on the sharp side, but she's got a lot to like about it, and I think that she'll win her races as the months go on. Number 7, goodness gracious me. So if not today, just keep a little eye on her, because I don't think she's all that bad. But my suggested play when it comes to race number 4, not being brave at all. Place bet on number 2, Fun Zone. I think it's a reasonable investment. You should get some money back. Race number 5 is the first leg of Jackpot 2 race, Cape Power by Hollywoodbets Class 5 for fillies and mares over 1400 meters. This is not the prettiest race I've ever seen, with all due respect. As far as the market is concerned, number 3 Oncidium at 2-1, number 5 I'm the Buzz at 9-2, same price number 6 St. Bridget, who's carded to run on Tuesday, at 9 Angels Oasis 6-1, number 8 Now the Boss 7-1, and 8-1 a pair of horses, numbers 2 and 7 Becky Sharp and Senora Victoria. Let's have a look at St. Bridget's run on the 21st of June when finishing 3rd behind Music of the Night. In that race was I'm the Buzz and Becky Sharp. Becky Sharp's impossible to get a read on, because we know that she can down tools, and on a good day she can be very effective. St. Bridget finished about 2 lengths behind I'm the Buzz. The weight slightly favour her to the tune of half a length, but just her consistency, I think, stands her in good stead. This filly St. Bridget, and again Candice Bass and Alda De Meo look set to have what could be a very good weekend. Winning comes at a premium. Took her a long time to win. She beat State Capital. State Capital's not ripping up any trees, despite the fact she's earning consistently. But on the subject of earning consistently, at least St. Bridget has been getting those state checks time and time again. She's yet to win over 1400 meters, but she has 2 places over this trip, including her penultimate start when there was money and talk for her, and she finished 2nd behind Dream Searcher, who simply grows an extra leg when Craig Bansom takes the ride. And although this is not a level to get too carried away with, I think that she represents the most solid prospect when it comes to the first leg of Jackpot number 2. Is it all that straightforward? The answer is no. You'd want as many horses as you can. Oncidium on the back of beating Apricity last time. Apricity trotted up subsequently. Richard Ferree takes a ride for Justin Snathan's well-bred daughter of Danon Platina. She's from the Illa de Vittoria family, so expect her to go well straight out the maidens. I mean, she could be many divisions ahead of this exposed field, and then a few others that also need to be tossed in. I'm the Buzz, not one to take lightly. It's Craig Zaki's first meeting back in Angels Oasis, although again probably under-delivering, and she's got the most awkward draw to overcome. Her penultimate start to electromagnetism must make some sort of case for her. So again, not being brave, place bet on a Bass horse with number 6 St. Bridget. Race number 6, the Equifeeds Class 3 over 1400 meters. Probably the race of the day in terms of their horses here that could be upwardly mobile and could be interesting following as the season gets underway. They're betting 33-10 a pair of horses. Number 6, Please Be True, and 7, Air Raid. Number 1, Land of the Rising Sun, one of the more beautiful horses on the South African circuit, is at 7-2. Number 3, Captain West, 4-1. San Pedro, number 5 at 7-1. And number 4, Gold Dust, an 8-1 shot. I love Gold Dust. I think that he's got a future, but maybe not quite here. Let's have a look at Air Raid on the 25th of May. Lots of you will remember this race because we all got duped by the photo. Got up by the shortest of short heads. Now, this well-bred son of Lancaster Bomber comes back from a mini break. That's no worry. I think he's the best when he's fresh. Dome and Bass again, you can't make it up. This son of Lancaster Bomber, when he comes out back from a break, he seems to run his best races. And Candice has stuck to the theme really with Air Raid in terms of she's always maintained that this horse can easily get a mile. I've always been of the opinion, until last time, funny enough, that he probably is a sprinter and might be stretched in that middle distance range. But he got the job done last time, albeit by the narrowest of margins, when beating Dawn Till Dusk, who of course is feature raced, and his consistency, or since being given time off to mature, his consistency has been something to be applauded. Out of the great mare Inara, and I think that he's coming into his own, number 7 Air Raid. Not for one moment saying that he's going to be as good as his mother. That looks highly unlikely, but he is going in the right direction, as are quite a few in this race. A list of dangers, as you would have told me on my place accumulator, where I had 1, 5 and 7, and I've also got number 6 in my suggested bet as well. Number 1, Land of the Rising Sun, seeking a hat-trick. Took him a while, but again, after being gelded, he came into his own, won his last 2 starts in impressive fashion. Gone up £10 in 2 starts, also back from a mini break. He's a big bulky horse, so I have to check if he's going to need the run at all, but he's another horse to keep an eye on as the season goes on. San Pedro can be deadly from the front. He's turned over horses better than this with Brevin Plyke, his 1.5 kilo claim, and with blinkers on. Hopefully he just contains himself with blinkers, but he can be a fierce front runner, and if he does too much, he could fall into a hole. But like I said, he turns over horses better than what he's ought to. I mean, he's run 2.5 lengths behind the Real Prince, for goodness sake. And number 7, Please Be True, got the job done last time. Desperately unlucky at his penultimate start behind Air Raid. Should have run a much closer on that occasion, and he is unbeaten with a headgear on. So, suggested plate, boxed exacta 1, 5, 6 and 7, and deep down I'm hoping that San Pedro can be one of those horses in the top 2, because I think that he can make the exacta pay a bit. Race number 7, 25 past 4, Hollywoodbets.net, class 4 for fillies and mares over 1600 metres. That's the very website that I'm using to give you this betting. Number 4, we have a situation in 11, Beneath the Clouds, both 3 to 1. Number 9, Supreme Fate, 5 to 1. 1, Tap Shoes, 5 to 1. And number 3, Golden Angel, shows up at 7 to 1. Double figures about the others, but Lavender Bay, Take It as Read, all horses that are not to be ignored. I'm a fan of this filly, Supreme Fate. I think she's got a lot to come, and I think that she's upwardly mobile. She's lightly raced, she's low mileage, she's turning 4. There's a peak run as well. Her penultimate start where she beat Wild Applause I thought was full of merit. She had the roughest of the draws. Justin Snaith was very keen on Wild Applause on that occasion, who obviously subsequently won. But the way that Supreme Fate ran her down encouraged me. I thought she was a little bit flat last time out, but again, not being disgraced behind Shriontek, who runs earlier on in the day, and I like to put it down to just a little bit of immaturity and the fact that she is only getting into the swing of things now. Since being given a break by the Crawford team, obviously back then Brett and now James Crawford, I think they played the long game very nicely with Supreme Fate. And out of that maiden form line, Wild Applause, Ocotillo and Sweet Conifer have all franked that form. And I think that'd all be horses that would be quite competitive in a race of this nature. So she bears a lot of watching. It's her second start over a mile. Her only time over this trip, she ran 2 lengths behind Give Me Everything, who is now a feature race winner. Number 11, Beneath the Clouds, draw 11 again. I mean, you can't make this up, but she's won twice from draw 11. A weak maiden when beating Sesame, but the way she just galloped them into the ground last time from We Have a Situation was seriously encouraging. I know Michelle Ricks and Harold Crawford have always held this filly in high praise, and it took her a while to get into the swing of things and to figure what it was all about, but she's not looked back since the penny dropped, and she is very, very hard to ignore, and especially from that draw under Richard Ferree. She's got a lot going for her, number 11, Beneath the Clouds, and if she does handle the slight drop and trip, and I see no reason why she shouldn't, because she's done well over 1,500 metres and she's gone very close over 17, so this is the meat and the sandwich distance-wise. But if she's able to get away, she can be a very, very hard horse to peg back, especially on the sticky track. So 2 horses that I think are very exciting to work with going forward, as is Garden of Eden. I still think there's a racehorse there, and Take It as Read. I still think it might be coming a little bit too soon for Take It as Read, but she's a nice one as time goes on, being by Hawam. She's likely to come into her own as a 3-year-old. So my structure in race number 7, box swingers 9 and 11. 8th and last race gets underway at 5 o'clock. Saving the best for last. Number 8, She's My World, 18 to 10 favourite, 5 to 1, 7 Music of the Night, 2 Lassa and 9 Maritzburg Memory. Number 10 Wild Applause found some early support from 7 to 1 down to 11 to 2 and 10 to 1 about the others. Right, like I said, saving the best to last. Number 8, She's My World. I'm going to suggest a good go on her. Richard Ferree takes her out for Justin Snaith. I thought her run in the listed Iridescent Stakes last time out was full of merit, beaten a length and 3/4 by Ukuduma. Even her penultimate start in the Somerset Sprint, absolutely yes, got her number. She was unlucky not to finish a little bit closer. She just fell out of the back door. She was a little bit tame over the last 50 metres, but her dash was done when horses went across her. The key to number 8, She's My World, is dropping back to a sprint. A reasonable galloping weight of 57.5 and a lot of scope to progress. I believe that in 6 months' time she'll be running in a division or 2 stronger than this. And for all those reasons, I think that she'll win the last race. It's as easy as that. Hopefully it all goes according to plan, because my day really hinges around number 8, She's My World. I think this Daughter of One World has a lot to like about her. She could kind of follow that same type of profile as a horse like I'm So Pretty. Maybe not quite A grade top division, grade 1, grade 2 material, but I think when we do look at those early sprint races during the Cape Summer with those 3-year-old concessions that they get, she could be one of those horses that's punching in that type of class. 7 Music of the Night, the stable companion, good winner last time out. against a little bit weaker, but she won in good style. Craig Zaki takes her out. The other 2-year-old, number 4, Between the Lines, having beaten Stormwatch, who subsequently won. All these 2-year-olds, they are turning 3, as I mentioned. In a week from now, they could have something to come. And number 10, Wild Applause, beaten by a horse who's so ahead of the curve in Abaco in the form of Enchanting Choice last time out. Could be another horse that might get into the mix. But I think number 8, She's My World, just has a bit more class than anyone else in the race. I think she'll win the last. So that's a wrap from us. That's our Saturday fare at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, the penultimate race on the card. And then out of this, on our way to Durban for the big day, which will, of course, incorporate the World Pools at Hollywoodbets Greyville. This Gold Cup day, there are 4 Grade 1s to look forward to, including the Champions Cup, including the Mercury Sprint, the Premier's Champions Stakes, and also the Tegweni Filly Sprint, or the Douglas White Stakes, as it's now known. It's a great day. It's a day of memories. And let's hope that this gets you on the front foot going into the big day on Sunday. From all of us here in Cape Town, have a wonderful weekend. We'll chat again soon. Goodbye.